right, hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Vays. The markets are open and let's go and take a look. We're in an awesome shirt, BTFD. You should know what that means, but not yet, because I do think that the dip is coming now that I feel the S&P 500 may have finally turned the corner as reality of the insanity of government shutdowns begins once again. I heard California decided to do a lockdown yesterday, and that certainly helped turn the market. Let's go ahead and go to screen share. All right, just want to point out, I put LVL back on the affiliate page because I will be bringing Willy Woo onto the show. Now, Willy Woo does not run LVL, but he is an advisor to LVL. I will also try to get the CEO of LVL to come on the show. This is scheduled for, I think, Thursday, but don't hold me to this because schedules change. At the moment, we are trying to get this interview done. I'll have Willy Woo on this show, US time, evening on Thursday, so morning in Asia. And if you're in Europe, sucks to be you guys because it'll be kind of in the middle of the night for you because Willie's in Asia and the LVL CEO is in the US, and therefore those schedules have to match. So come on back here Thursday night to catch Willy Woo and someone from LVL, and we'll talk about what they've been up to. If you want to catch up on it, I did an interview with them a while back. It's in, I should probably tweet that out. But you'll find it on my YouTube channel. Probably, I'm not sure where that would be. Good question. Don't remember. Either on the record or one of the Willy Woo shows. All right, let's move on. Someone reminded me that the hyperwave needs to be in linear, in non-log scale, in just linear scale. And I wanted to double check, and it was. I did not alter my time, my price scale. Sorry, not time scale. And I double checked, and it is. This line relies on not having log scale. It's easily provable that it's not in log just by how small the 2013 bubble is. So this trend line is not using log scale, while this trend line, which is also on weekly charts, is using log scale, and they are both rejecting the price of Bitcoin. But this one could be adjusted forever. If I have to, I can adjust this hyperwave wave 7 like this. That's one of the things in hyperwave is that you don't need a hyperwave phase line. Is not really a trend line. It doesn't have to hit the maximum number of candles like the tone Vays trend lines that do. So we can break the trend line on the log scale. We can go all the way to 12,000, but we will not break phase 7 of hyperwave. We will still be in phase 7. Okay, tones MRI indicator, name could change, is called for a top in Bitcoin right here the first week of June. And we are now sitting right here in the second, going into the third week of July, pretty much the third week of July for me, because we're already it's the week of July 13th. So this week ends, 3 weeks in. And we're still lower than this sell indication. We're still below the trend line. We're below a moving average. We are above the parabolic SAR. But these parabolic SARs are moving up quite swiftly, and give it 5 more weeks and we'll probably be right there. Okay, let's move on. Daily chart. This channel's gone. I keep trying to come up with a good pattern on a daily scale, and there just isn't. We could, now we can draw a symmetric triangle. I mean, we can draw these patterns all day. They're not wrong. We're just trying to find the best possible pattern that could explain a potential breakout. Now, the symmetric channel here will be a little bit tricky I'm trying to get it to touch the maximum number of candles without breaking any of their bodies based on tone Vays rules while keeping symmetry. This is actually not half bad. I can touch those two, and but this shape is going to come to an end like within a few days. So we're going to have to break one way or another. This is actually not bad. I kind of like it. Do I have an inclination as to which way it's going to break? I honestly don't. I am leaning bearish here, slightly bearish. Now, let me make this triangle yellow instead of red, just to make it clear. I do not have any views on which way this thing may break. Now, why am I slightly leaning bearish? Besides the fact that when we get to the S&P 500, I'm going to talk about why I'm kind of bearish on the S&P 500. We are still below the parabolic SARS, indicating short trade. We are below the 50-period moving average, also indicating weakness. That is a yellow star on the tone Vays newest indicator of the family, which we still have to, still buggy. The yellow star represents a potential trend change to the downside. Now, I know it's to the downside because it's a bearish candle. Now, yellow stars don't stick around. Yellow stars either disappear if the candle doesn't close properly, or yellow stars become red and green stars. It's actually pretty straightforward. Will I release the stars to the public? It depends. First, I have to make these stars perfect, and then we're going to try and write a bot strategy to see how profitable they are. And here's the bad news for you guys. If they are, well, maybe not say if they are very profitable. I may not release it to the public. I may still release it to the public. We're still working on this. I may find that they are not profitable at all, in which case, why would I release them to the public? And if they are creating a very profitable trading bot, why would I release them to the public either? But if they're somewhere in between, if they're somewhere useful, but not very profitable bot, then they will be released to the public. I mean, that's basically the end reality, because since I don't make money any other way, I got to get back to trading. And since I don't want to sit in front of a computer, I got to start writing bots. And by me, I mean someone with coding skills. So that's what we're going to be doing over the rest of the year, trying to write a couple of trading bots and see how they do. And since I don't manage other people's money, nor have a license to manage other people's money, I will just be using my own money. It's that's basically the whole thing. Now the arrows will definitely be released. That one is going to be released. But right now, I am looking at a potential trend change. And tomorrow, when we do this video tomorrow, you will see. Oh, good question, Martin. Will you be updating your demand videos to the latest webinar? The answer is yes. But right now, the last on-demand webinar is like 6.5 hours long. And someone is going to edit this video for me into something like 6 hours, maybe 5 hours, 45 minutes. And they're not going to cut out any content. They're just going to cut out, like dead air and like useless stuff. So out of that 6.5 hour video, there's at least 30 minutes to 60 minutes worth of stuff that just wastes your time. So once we edit the video, then the new one will certainly replace the old on-demand videos. Though I guess I could replace it with the new one now and then replace it again, because it's just an automated email that you get when you sign up and pay for it. But yeah, so I'll try to do that this week. This week I'll do it. Okay, so here we are looking at a potential trend change into the downward direction in Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin rallied hard earlier tonight, earlier today, probably because the S&P rallied earlier. Hey guys, here's what I forgot to do the last 5 or 7 days. and I just saw it today. I've not looked at the 4-hour chart in a while. And I drew this triangle a long time ago. It wasn't even last video. It would have been the video before that or the video before that. So I drew this triangle a while back. I actually had no idea. We rallied right into the top of the triangle, and then we hit the top of that triangle again like 2 days ago. Or I might have drawn it here as the 4-hour chart. I don't remember when I drew it. It had to have been a couple of days. But this descending triangle on the 4-hour chart is absolutely awesome. I really like it. And if we come back to 9,000 or 8,900, well, 9,000 actually, one more time, I'm going to raise this a little bit. I'm going to cheat, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this line. I'm going to raise that side a little bit because I just want to be closer to the $9,000 round number right there. And if I have, one candle closing below this trend line, I'm okay with that. I'm crossing a couple of bodies right here, but now we are cleanly touching here and here and here, and this is very close. So I really like it, and this here is very close. So there's lots of, slide this one over. There we go. So I do like this descending triangle on the 4-hour chart, which, so now I'm going to take this arrow and I'm going to just slide it over. Come on, what is with my charts? I don't know what's going on. I'm going to slide it over. I still feel that the Bitcoin price can pull back and pull back hard. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm going to delete it because it's in the way. And we clearly broken the uptrend on a 4-hour chart. Wow, all these other things here. I know they just clutter the chart. I don't really remember what they were from, but cup and handle here. Delete that. Didn't work out anyway. Whatever this arrow is, let's delete that. Let's just clean it up. Okay, let's move on. GBTC premium might be kind of low. Ooh, that's interesting. That is certainly interesting. The GBTC premium is some of the lowest it's been in quite a while. That is very interesting to me. Might need to pick up some GBTC. Even though I think the price is going down, it's hard to pass up that premium. Hash rate is doing just fine. Bitcoin dominance is not doing very good. Bitcoin dominance is at the lowest it's been all year. And we are pushing, well, we're not nearly close to the 2-year lows, but still the IQ is pretty low in the crypto space. The Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Here's gold. Gold was pulling back hard earlier today, but it is now going up. Now, gold daily has a top. Again, the tone-based new indicator. Wait, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess that trend change is possible. I don't like the trend change being close. Like I said, we're still defining the best way to identify trend changes. But this right here is an indication of a potential top or at least a slowdown in gold. I'm now looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction to the downside, followed by more upside. This is silver. Silver is still holding up fairly well. Oil is also holding up fairly well. here we go, the S&P. Let's take a look and see what's going on. All right, we have another potential trend change right here. Let's see how this candle closes in about 1 minute. And if that is a potential trend change, it is a trend change to the upside because you see a bullish candle here. So the 10-minute chart of the S&P is we have a lot of big consolidation here. Oh, the yellow star is gone. Interesting. Oh, because it was actually going to be a trend change to the downside, but now that can't happen. Look at that. Markets are rallying a little bit here. The 10 a.m. reversal came right on cue. Boom. That could be a trend change to the upside. There's a yellow star. And this is the candle that will change your trend to the upside if the candle closes as it is right now. So as a trader, you need to decide when to buy in. Do you wait for the candle to close? Do you act on the yellow star? That is your decision. I am not here to tell you if one method is better than the other method. But yeah, the 10 a.m. reversal certainly took place. This is the candle that ends at 10 a.m. and that is considered certainly close enough. And the S&P turned the corner. It's not as high as it was at market open, but it looks like it will break it. So there was a question, how do we know that whether the S&P has stopped or not? Well, we don't. We do our best to use probabilities. We have now closed the gap from yesterday into today. I do not have any trades in the market, but I am considering going short one more time. If I was to go short, my stop loss was very, very simple. My stop loss would be right above 3,200. I don't even need to wait for it to get above the candle. If the S&P gets above the prior high on the opening, if the S&P gets above 3,200, my short trade has failed. So if I am to open a short trade right now, because the gap has closed, I wouldn't enter it right now. I would stay a little bit more patient, but I am considering taking on a short trade in the S&P. And if I do, my stop loss would be 3,200. So that's only 45 points above entry. So that's a pretty clean stop loss that I am comfortable with. S&P is experiencing a golden cross on the daily. It will be irrelevant. The golden cross would actually be irrelevant for trading purposes. And you wouldn't know that unless you've taken my workshop where I explained it. Now, the golden cross is irrelevant for short-term trading when it happens so far away from the price of the asset. So S&P is more likely to pull back into the 50-period moving average than it is to move off of the higher because of the golden cross. The golden cross is more of a long-term indication. There's our 50 breaking 200. The golden cross happened 2 weeks ago. And right now, we are no higher than we were 2 weeks ago, or not 2 weeks, a week ago. Sorry, this is the daily version. So we crossed over last week, and we are probably at a lower price right now than we were at during the cross. Now, granted, we did go higher, and now we've dropped. So for me, I would be fairly comfortable if S&P, maybe I'll set a limit order. If the S&P pulls, I want to say 3180, but that could be stressing it. 3174. So I am comfortable with 3174 as a potential short trade on the S&P. with a stop loss. Right above the opening of yesterday's trading. That would be my plan. See, stop loss is right above. Entry is somewhere in the middle. We may never pull back. I may never get this entry. So this is the kind of stuff that I teach, and we will spend 6 hours on this. For those that are planning to attend, although I put LVL back on, and guys, now that we have 600 viewers, I'm bringing Willy Woo on the show on Thursday evening US time, Friday morning Asia time. We'll have Willy Woo and hopefully the CEO of LVL, where Willy's a consultant. And we, of course, going to get Willy's take on the Bitcoin markets, and also talk about what the hell LVL has been up to. They're not just an exchange, they're also a bank. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And as far as the stop losses and entries and exits go, that is the workshop I will be teaching in a few weeks. So July 25th, a week from this Saturday, will be all day risk, leverage, money, and position management. Hey, any admins in my group chat, please permanently ban Darren N, who is trying to scam my followers. Thank you. No, permanently ban him, not just time him out, like permanently ban him. Thank you. All right. Okay, so the question is, has the S&P topped? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I have an indicator, momentum reversal indicator, that tells me we have topped. Timed it perfectly. Now, well, not really, because the indicator showed up probably in the beginning of the candle, and then we flew all the way up, and then we flew all the way down. Well, the beginning of the candle was up there. So I will trust the indicator that we have topped. Now, because I did not even know we topped, I didn't even know we reversed until after the market was closed. I never had a chance. Never had a chance to consider any short trades, but I also don't want to be watching my portfolio all day. I have work to do. Tesla was flying high yesterday during my show. And then by the time the market closed, Tesla had fallen $300, which is insane. Now, Tesla indicated a top on Friday, not on Monday, like the S&P 500. And today's candle is not great. So my view on Tesla is the same as the S&P 500. They are pretty correlated. I don't know if I have anyone doing questions for me. But I can glance. I think Amazon is topping as well. Yeah, look at Amazon. Boom. See, this is why having access to this indicator should help. I'm not saying you're going to be the best trader in the world. Here's a red star telling you that the trend is changing to the downside, and that clearly failed. But right here, it's telling you to take the trade to the upside, and boom, that was a good trade. No system is perfect. If you went 1000x and put all your money into shorting Amazon here, and you didn't admit your mistake here, you could be broke and not have any more money to trade. But that is why you don't have proper risk management of your positions. That's why this course is an absolute must for traders. You don't have to learn it from me. You can learn it somewhere else, but you need to learn it. Learn it somewhere. You can learn it for free, though that's not ideal. Let's go back to Amazon. So the MRI indicator certainly did a good job on Amazon, but that's a big candle, you know? So it's hard to say how right it was. The correction could also be over. This also has a good probability of only being a 1 to 4 candle correction into the moving average, and then we go way higher. That's possible. Lots of stocks are topping today, guys. Google did not. Google must have missed it by one candle. Google missed it by one candle. If that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will have a yellow arrow with the next time this code gets updated. Just like yellow stars, yellow arrows convert to red or green on the following candle. It gives you a warning sign that the top could be coming next candle. Netflix, boom, tops today. One candle off. There would have been a yellow arrow here. Yellow arrow disappears to make way for the red arrow. If the red arrow doesn't show up, the yellow arrow would stay, indicating that we topped one day early. Yeah, this, like I said, this is the new indicator we're putting our time into. Roku topped today. Apple. Ooh, must have missed it by one candle. Well, Tesla, we already saw. Tesla topped early. Tesla led this move higher. What about Facebook? Facebook didn't top either, and that is a trend change to the downside. Microsoft, oh, that had to top somewhere. No, that missed it by a candle also. This giant candle must have messed it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's got to be a bug. That has to be a bug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, we got to fix that. I'm taking a screenshot for my developer. That should have been. This is how we find bugs. This is why no one has access to this yet. Yeah, it should have been. Yeah, it had to be. I can actually double check with this. Hold on. Oh. Yeah. See the red arrow right there? That should have been present in the other one. That's how I knew. We'll be doing enough testing. Just taking a screenshot. I have to send it to my developer. Done. Or maybe we don't have the quasi nines programmed in yet. That's also possible. That may not have been, so it may not even be a bug. It's a feature we haven't added yet. So that's also possible. All right, so Microsoft topped on this candle yesterday. AMD. So some of the other ones could have topped as well because, like I said, our indicator. Yep, AMD topped right there. So many assets topped yesterday based on the indicator. Boom, NVIDIA right at the high. I'm going to trust my indicators. The reason why they exist. I'm going to trust them until my stop losses are hit. Ford's different. Oh, Square. I want to check Square because that one's been rallying hard. Oh, no one's drinking coffee. Sucks for Starbucks. Did we top? Yep. Boom. Topped yesterday. Square. Pretty big drop. Right into the moving average. Bounce back. Let's check Uber. Yeah, Uber's not looking great. And DraftKings. Oh, wow. DraftKings fell big. Oh, boy. That was a $46 stock. Jeez. So it gave you an indication of a short, of a bearish trend. And there was a monthly top and there was a weekly top. Wow. Yeah, DraftKings was screaming top. Look at this. Top on a monthly scale, top on a weekly scale, tops everywhere. And daily buy didn't amount to much. Bearish trend change, and now a continuation of the bearish trend change in continuing bearish. That's scary. That's not good. I looked at Canaan last time. If the market's turning, I mean, Canaan's not going to be able to do much. Canaan should have bottomed on a weekly scale. I kind of like it here, but at the same time, it's very close to the all-time low. I'd wait till it breaks the moving average, maybe. I'd wait till it breaks $2 before going long in Canaan. That's what I would do. All right, like I said, I don't have anyone taking questions. I can keep an eye on your live chat a little bit. People are asking more about MRI. MRI won't be ready for months because I barely get a chance to work on it. Just too much other stuff going on. Everything moves kind of slow. I have 3 jobs. Running the YouTube channel, running news and with the law shows, and trying to get Willy Woo on, and maybe other interviews. A million people asking me for interviews that I do almost daily with other like channels and people and articles and online conferences, and a million people just asking questions on all social media between Twitter and YouTube and messaging. So hard to find the time to focus on building indicators. Funding rate. Yeah, I can look at funding rate. No, it won't be for sale for at least a month. It depends how much time I have to work on it. But if you have access to my old one, you're not going to have to buy this one. This is the new version of that. You'll have access to both. But if you haven't purchased any access to any indicators, then this is the one you will get. Funding rate. Funding rate's non-existent. So it's nothing interesting. Nothing interesting in BitMEX funding rate. I'm not a fan of Fibonacci arcs. Your thoughts on inverse correlation between the dollar and the S&P? I don't believe that there is correlation between the dollar and the S&P. I don't, because the dollar is kind of irrelevant to the S&P. What is this? Oh, that's the TI code. but it's like 3,000 lines long. So the first 20 lines won't help you. What was I doing? I was going to look at the dollar. The dollar is dropping. I'm a little surprised. I think the dollar will strengthen over the rest of this decade. I am expecting a stronger dollar versus foreign currency. I know the US is printing a lot, but it's still in the best position versus the rest of the world. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for your super chat donation. Can you explain why Chainlink is a scam? Because you don't need the token. There is absolutely no reason for that token to exist other than scam you out of your Bitcoin and the creators of Chainlink to make money by printing their own money. There's absolutely no utility in Chainlink. Whatever Chainlink is doing, and it's irrelevant what they're actually doing, and you can say this about every single ICO, whatever it is they are doing, it can be achieved without their own internal coin. It is that simple. It is a very simple reality of the fact that you do not need a volatile currency in the middle of your company. It does not need to exist. It exists for two reasons. Actually, it exists for one reason only. The only reason for its existence is to enrich the creators of that project. That's it. It's that simple. It's no different than Ripple. The only reason why the Ripple token exists is to enrich the creators of the Ripple project so that they can sell the token to bag holders to fund their company. There is absolutely no reason for that token to exist. That's why it's a scam. Now, as long as there's hype and as long as there's attention and as long as people are using, I don't know who the hell uses, whatever, it's irrelevant what they do. They're all the same. Guys, here's what you need to understand. If you go to CoinMarketCap, Chainlink is now in the top 10. But remember, this is only the top 100. So this is a bad representation. So if you go view all, you can go to number 1010. And at one point, there is a high probability that that scam coin was also a top 10 at some point in its history. And everyone believed in it as much as they do Chainlink now. There is absolutely no reason for it to exist. It exists. The only reason for it to exist is to enrich a few people. That's it. That is it. No, stocks are not scams. See, this is where this is where you are convoluting what is a security. You see, a stock gives you ownership of that company. When you own Apple stock, you have a say in Apple. You don't have a big say in Apple, but your say in Apple is proportional to the amount of Apple stock you have. You have rights. Apple has legal obligations by having Apple stock. You are convoluting a regulated environment with 100 years of rules and regulations to give you rights to a scam coin that has no rights to enrich a couple of people. You hate on companies like Apple and Google that are actually employ real people that create, that enrich the world. Sure, they spy on you and that's bad, but the amount of good that these companies have created for the world allows you to actually have this comment. You are saying BS because you hate Google and you hate stocks, but you are saying the letters BS on a Google platform, okay? At the same time, you don't believe in Google stock because you think they're horrible, but you believe in an outright scam that is printing you money trying to get your Bitcoin. So good luck with your investment. So if you go down far enough, see, I was there when, why is it only 200? I thought I said all. Civic. Who remembers when Civic was in the top 10? And that was going to be the greatest company the world has ever seen. I remember that. I don't know about top 10, but I remember when I was calling the Civic token a useless token, and people were saying I had no idea what I was talking about. And Vinny Lingham's a genius, and his token is needed. It's not. This token should not exist. I actually think it's a violation of security laws. All right, so I don't want to like hit this button 1,000 times to get to the more interesting coins. So they used to have a button to show all, but I guess they don't anymore, which is very annoying. I know there are way better websites for this, but I don't remember their names, so it doesn't matter. Well, like you guys don't understand that how scammy these things are. If you go to the history, is it in tools? CoinMarketCap really needs to have a better interface. It's terrible. There was a history here somewhere, but I don't remember where. I remember when Paycoin was number 3 on the CoinMarketCap, and everyone was saying how it was going to be the greatest currency ever. You know what happened to Paycoin? The creators went to prison. And rightfully so. So I don't know how to pull up history. It used to be easy, but not anymore. Anyway, you can believe in whatever nonsense you like. These things can go. It's a centralized currency controlled by a few people. They can drive the price to any level, but it's a scam because the existence of the token only exists for you to gamble with it. There's absolutely no fundamentals behind any of this garbage. I already said there's no correlation between the dollar and the S&P 500. There never has been. That's been my position forever. The only correlation you will see is if the US dollar goes into hyperinflation, which it won't. The S&P 500 will go into hyperinflation because the US stock market is priced in US dollars. So if like the Zimbabwe stock market was the best performing stock market in the world because it's priced in Zimbabwe dollars. And the Venezuelan market was the best performing market in the world because it's priced in the Venezuelan currency. So it's going to go up exponentially because the devaluation of the currency went up exponentially. Yeah, monthly tops could be coming to a lot of equities as well. It's possible. Like, see, if you look at the dollar and you zoom out to a monthly chart of the dollar's value has barely changed since 2015. So since 2015, the dollar has been between 100 and say 93, 90% of the time. So the dollar hasn't changed, but the S&P 500 has changed since 2015 quite a bit. So there is no correlation between the dollar and the S&P. Like, I don't understand how people think there's correlation. They just, it's not there. There's nothing there. So companies that are publicly traded don't go bankrupt often. Once again, people are confusing. It's this fallacy that most people have. Well, Bill Gates dropped out of high school or college, and Steve Jobs dropped out of college, and Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of college. Therefore, if I drop out of high school, I can build Facebook or Microsoft or whatever. That's the fallacy you're dealing with. When a stock goes bankrupt, you're in the same position as an altcoin. That is a true statement. But there are thousands of stocks that are legitimate. They're all legitimate. And once in a blue moon, one of those companies goes bankrupt. Right now, we're looking at like Hertz going bankrupt. It's rare. It's not often that a publicly traded large-ish company goes bankrupt because they have a business. But shitcoins go bankrupt every day. Every day. You don't even know that they're bankrupt, but they are. So it's a fallacy to think that they're the same. They're not the same. All right, guys. I think that's it for me. I got to get going. Once again, I will be teaching a risk management workshop on July 25th. And I will be bringing Willy Woo onto the show this Thursday night, US time, Friday morning, Asia time. And we're going to talk about the markets, and we're going to try and bring someone from LVL on as well. And we'll talk about what they're doing with their bank and exchange. All right. I can glance at US Steel. Haven't looked at it in a while. It's not interesting to me. It's at a double bottom, which means it should rally, but at the same time, it's I'm expecting the market to drop. Yeah, so I would have loved to short the market right here at this red line. It's possible that we're not going to get there. I'm going to stay patient. I may or may not enter my short later today. I still have time, but I do believe the market is due for a pullback. And now that I have a very clear stop loss, I am okay taking that trade. Too bad I didn't see the big drop yesterday. That would have been sweet. Here's the 10-minute look. And would have been hard for me to time this top. This one would have been much easier to time at 11 a.m. With my indicator. This one would have been a lot more challenging. This green star actually shouldn't be there. The latest updates will take that out. I already put in rules. because it's too close to the prior one. So we have more rules coming in. This red star would still remain, but this green one would actually go away. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.